All right, so we are back in the mobile app or the web version for AutoCAD. I want to real quick go over settings that you will need to be familiar with and know how to use. So if you are in your screen and you have things opened up, so notice we can go right up here. There's this gear looking icon that's called settings. So I'm going to click on that and we get all sorts of different pop-ups here with things to go. So here in our preferences, notice the theme is light or dark. So, and that's just going to kind of change the way the overall looks. So you can kind of, I prefer to work at it with light. Sometimes if that bothers you, you can change it to dark. I'm going to go ahead and click done here so you can see basically it's just kind of darkened up the way this looks. So let me go back and change that back to light for my settings that I prefer. So we have tracking here. So and this again, so this is the same thing as what was we were going over that's down here in the lower right hand corner. So we've got forward tracking. We can turn it on or off by clicking on that button. And here it's the increments, the same thing. So we can kind of set that to whatever we want. Right now I'm just going to leave it at 30 degree increments. You got your object snap and all of the different object snap settings that we can click, so we can change it here. It's actually a little bit easier because this is the spot where we could kind of do these all at once instead of just kind of clicking and clicking on object snap settings down below and clicking one, having to go back and having to redo it. We could set those all at once right up here. We also have units. So for us, what we draw, notice right now I clicked units and the format here is architectural units and I'm given a different precision. So on our linear units, so if I click architectural precision, notice I can make lots of changes to increase the degree of accuracy that I want to draw with. So right now this is 0 feet, 0 inches. I can make my precision to a half an inch to a quarter of an inch to an eighth of an inch. I could go all the way down to 1/256 of an inch. Now that's very, very tight tolerance. So most of what we will do will be in the architectural drafting class is generally quarter of an inch is the degree of accuracy and precision that we generally use. But here in Intro to Tech, we don't use architectural units at all. So we want to change these architectural units. Now notice I'm given a lot different types of units. So we're scientific, decimal, engineering, architectural, or fractional. And we want to use decimal. So I'll click on and change the format decimal. So notice here the precision goes out 4 decimal places. Well, that's in machinist talk, that's 1/10. So and it's a tenth because it's really the thousandth. So, you know, if you talk about this in mathematics, this is our 10th spot, 100th spot, thousandths, and our 10,000th spot. So, machinist talk, since we generally do work 4 decimal places and a lot of machine parts, we call this a tenth because it's 1/10,000th of a thousandth of an inch. And that's kind of machinist talk, but more precision than what we need for this class. So I'm going to click the arrow there, and we only want to take it down to the thousandths space. So 3 decimal places is plenty. So change your precision to 3 decimal places. Notice here for angular measurements and units, we've got the format of decimal degrees. If I click that, we can accept degrees, minutes, seconds, gradians, radians, surveyor units. For us in this class, decimal degrees is fine. And our precision here, again, we can go down several decimal places, more than what we need for our degree measure. Degree measure, we can just keep that set at 0 for the precision. And then lastly, we also have the navigation here. So standard or reverse for our zoom. You don't need to really do anything. We will always kind of use the standard zoom. If you click that, it's going to kind of mess you up. So just leave that on standard. Once you got those settings where you want them, so let's go back to object snap here. So I'm making sure maybe I might want to add a tangent because that's a good one to sometimes have, and perpendicular. So, and then we'll go ahead and click done with our settings. And that's one way that we can set the settings that we want to use for this particular using AutoCAD Web.